We're live here. All right, we're live now, people. All right, the Matt Ramage Show. Thank you for tuning in. No one has yet, but they will eventually. Matt Ramage Show presented by Quick Trip. Big old shout out to Quick Trip. All right, what do you got there? You got that at Quick Trip.
I got my hangover water from Quick Trip. I've been buying a couple of these babies every weekend. It cures you right up. I highly recommend.
Dude, the hangover tour of Quick Trip is where I, dude. They know.
Right, like what? The vitamin water, the Gatorade.
I go with the Gatorade,
the electrolyte water.
Yeah. So I walk into Quick Trip after I'm drinking. I'll probably do it tomorrow because I got to work tomorrow, right? And I walk in. I grab some donuts. I grab a Rockstar. I grab some Gatorade, and more donuts. And because, dude, here's what you gotta do. You gotta get the electrolytes, Rockstar or Gatorade. Rockstar wakes you up.
Yeah.
Usually
Rockstar
I grab
so much.
Rockstar just gets you going because I got work to do. I grab some chocolate milk usually too, just to coat the stomach. You don't want all the ruffles and feathers. And then you got to get something in your stomach. When you get to work, you empty out the old poop chute. But anyways, we're here with Alex Strouf, people. I'm giving some advice on how to
properly digest your hangover. Yeah.
Yeah. What is up, James? All right. I don't have a mouse because my mouse. I just moved into the basement. Anyways, but what is up, everybody? We're here with Alex Strouf. I want to talk to you, Alex, a little bit about the football season, the Super Bowl. First of all, the Super Bowl. I tweeted very heavily during the Super Bowl. I was a little bit tipsy.
Yeah, I saw a few of them, but I was also myself very tipsy. So I know you were mad about the officials.
Yeah, dude, I was very upset about the game, and I kind of regret a lot of what I said because mostly like what I do when I'm drinking. But
he just wakes up. Oh no! What did I do?
I'm like, I was gonna delete some, and I was like, well, it got like 37 retweets, so like I can't read, like 18 comments. Like, what do I do,
Maddie? I'll tell you what. We've done way too many podcasts with each other for me not to be honest with you, and so I will be. You're a sucker for the numbers. You're a sucker for the numbers. You always find a way to drop how many retweets or how many likes or how many views something got.
No, because you can't delete a tweet. You can't delete a tweet if people reply to it because it shows that it was deleted and they replied to like nothing. So now I'm like, well, I said it, so I got to stand by it. That's mostly on Facebook. You can just delete something that never happened. It's just gone. But on Twitter, people still replied, and their replies are still there. So now you just look like an idiot. So you got to stand by it. But I thought the refs were horrible in that first half. People are like, well, they were good in the second half. Well, the first half is what matters. It changes the game plan when it happened. I'm not going to blame the refs because that Bucks defense was ridiculous. I don't know an offense is going to be.
I think the offensive line thing was really underplayed. I think the fact that they were missing Eric Fisher, their left tackle, and their right tackle, whose name escapes me, but the Chiefs were. And we saw how good – we had two examples, especially as Packers fans, of how good that Bucs defense is. And it came out. I mean, they looked ridiculous. That team's going to be scary again next year. But, the officials – it's always a bad thing, Maddie, when the talking point of the Super Bowl, the biggest television spectacle in America, is the officiating. That's not what you want in your biggest game, right? When you've got 100 million eyes – on your biggest game, on your biggest product if you're the NFL, and the highlight of the game is the officiating, like that ain't good.
That is what I said. Like during the game, I said, remember like 3-4 years ago, you really don't hear about it anymore, but they were fining guys, they suspend guys, and like T.O. back in the day, and like, well, integrity of the game, like, they make the game not look so good. So that's what I was talking about. Integrity of the game. Like, dude, these calls, like, people talk to me all the time at work, and they say the NFL is rigged, and I'm not saying that it is, but I argue with these guys. I argue, and like, no, it's not. There's no way it could be because players would talk, lesser paid players when they get out of the league, they would talk, and I still don't think it is. I still don't think it is. But it was just
A little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it is. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But we know the Tim Donaghy scandal in the NBA. We know that that maybe there was some fix in the NBA back in the late 2000s. Is it impossible for there to be in the NFL? No, I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not saying anything. Don't make this look like I'm being a conspiracy.
Oh, I'm gonna clip this up and make it look like
right. But I mean, Tom Brady goes to the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Super Bowl's played in Tampa. He wins his 7th, more than any NFL franchise. I don't know. It seems pretty fairy tale like to me.
Oh yeah, and that is the thing. Is like, dude, I don't know. I kind of do think that the NFL wanted Tom Brady to win his 7th.
They wanted him there at least. They wanted him in the game.
Because I felt like
the matchup they wanted, right?
Yeah, because I'm not one to like blame the refs, but like the Packer game was the same thing. Like we had some sketchy calls, and like I'm not gonna blame the refs because the Packers could have won that game by just doing what they should have done, like that halftime, before halftime touchdown, whatever. We talked about all this, but like in that Packer game, I won't blame the refs in that game, but there was some sketchy reffing. But like the Packers could have won it by just doing what they should have been doing and what they could have done, what they should have done. But in the first half of that Super Bowl, dude, it was so sketchy. And then in the second half, like, oh, it cleaned up. Well, yeah, it cleaned. They didn't help no more. But like, and it is what it is. But my thing is, let's get off, like, because the media is talking about Brady. Like I give Brady his props. I will give Brady his props.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, Brady is outstanding. Like, because you can say all you want. Is like, well, Brady had great defense. I think he had like 2 Super Bowls that he won. He didn't have top 10 defense.
Everybody says, he always gets bailed out. Blah 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 blah. I mean, there's absolutely no way. No way, he's not the greatest. I mean, it's
because like after how many times, because like you can say, because he always has great defense, and that is the thing. Is like people are like, well, he just picked a random team and he took him to the Super. No, he didn't pick a random team. He picked the most complete team that he could see, and went to that team and brought Gronk with him. But like he still did it. He still like, dude. After you say so many times, well, the defense carried him and he had a crappy division. Like, how many times can you say that? He went to first of all, like I was saying last year about Rodgers. They went to the NFC Championship game with a new coach, with a new system. And I was like, and Rodgers still took the NFC Championship game. I can't say that and then turn my eye to like, Brady went to a brand new team with a brand new system. I mean, they're probably mixing some stuff for Brady. But like, you got to recognize greatness. Like, even I actually like Brady, but I don't like him now. Like right now, someone sent me a meme, and they're like, you should post this. I was like, I can't because right now I'm on F Brady. I like Brady, but like not. I'll like him again in 3 months. But like right now, I'm not a fan. Like just stay in the AFC and the Packers go to the Super Bowl. That's all you had to do. Yeah, just stay in the AFC. Right. I think the Bucs defense deserve a ton of credit, which I don't think that they're really getting in the national media. That's what irritates me. They're like, Brady won his 7th. He's this and that, which he should get. He should get all those things. But let's talk about the defense. Who like, dude, Mahomes, like that Chiefs offense was like, I think they were probably the second best offense in the league behind the Packers.
Hey man, I
don't know the rankings will go, but I don't know how the actual rankings go. But like the Chiefs' offense was legit, and they shut him down. Mahomes was running around like he was playing Madden. He was just running straight back.
It looked like they were playing like 3 apple rushing in the backyard. Like like it looked like there was no offensive line. It was unbelievable. He was under pressure every freaking play, it seemed.
Yeah, so like I think people got to give respect to that defense, and
no doubt.
But like it is what it is. Like it drives me nuts because I think that when you watch that game, you're like, oh, the Packers could have done that. You know what I
mean? No doubt. So let me ask you this, Matty. So going forward now, obviously we're out of the football season. Week 1 of the off season is here. What do you? I guess I don't even know this. Do you get invested into the draft? Are you a big draft guy or not really?
I'm not. Like
okay, I think I am, but like I was gonna ask you, when do you start like worrying about the draft or paying attention to the draft, or maybe like looking at maybe some of the guys in the first round you might have a crush on, or Do you get into that at all?
No, like when they start talking about him, that's when I learn about him. I'll say this, like with Jordan Love, I'm not sure I heard his name before they drafted him. Like I probably did, and I wasn't paying attention because like, well, we're not going for a quarterback anyways. This year I probably will. I'm gonna have people on who are smart, like you and maybe Andy Herman, before the draft, and like, hey, who are the guys? I don't know. Like, I'm not.
I mean, I don't either. Right now, though,
study. I'm not going to study.
I won't for at least another month. I'm gonna go into like, okay, football season's over. Let's exhale, pay attention to some free agency, and obviously
look at the wrong camera. I was looking at the wrong camera the whole time.
Dude, no,
now I'm
you act
in.
like we can tell. You act like we can tell. But what the hell was I saying?
No, but about the draft.
No, right.
No, but first of all, for people who are listening, this is Alex Strouf here, right? He called the Jordan Love pick. He called it. He said it was going to happen. Like, he's the only guy. Yeah, who said it was going to happen. And, dude, I don't know anybody else who said it was going to happen. So, like, if Jordan Love sucks, which I don't think he will, I don't know what's going to happen if he'll ever play for the Packers.
I don't know.
He might get traded. But if he does play for the Packers and he doesn't do well, dude, it's on you because you called it before it happened. So like you were on the same page as Goody over there,
which is interesting because
he's
might
smart.
Be the first time ever.
He's smart. He's smart because you're smart, but he's smart.
Oh right, no, I don't know. That might even be an overstatement.
Yeah, he's smart. No, but yeah.
Well, I'm happy to be the next GM of the Green Bay Packers if offered. I know you and I have talked about this hypothetical situation, right? You always say, I'm not the GM for a reason. I'm not making the decisions for a reason. What if we were actually like, he called me up, he said, hey, you and Ramage got to run the team now. What would happen? I think everybody would sell their shares back to the team.
Yeah, they were like, I could make decisions on the guys who are on the team who I watch play. But like scouting, I can't do it because like even on Madden, like I haven't played Madden in a few years, but like when you get to scout guys and you're like they have the numbers and sometimes I think you could play them as like college guys. I always sucked. I just go by the numbers. 88 overall. Let's draft him.
Count me in. Yeah, right.
Call me in. But like in real life, like that's what I said to so many people like about scouting. There's no ranking. You make that ranking. Like when you're a scout, like you're the one who creates it and say, hey, I need someone to create that ranking. So I'm gonna need some scouts. We're gonna have some really good scouts. We're gonna bring back what's his face? Who's that old guy? The old Packers.
That's specific.
No, that's specific. On Twitter. What's his name? He was with Ron Wolf.
What position did he play?
No, he was the old GM or he was like a scout, but he has such great stories. I think he was the old GM, maybe before Ron Wolf. I wish I knew that name.
Would he still be alive before Ron?
No,
Wolf?
He's on Twitter. He tweets and he tells old stories about Reggie White and like how it all came to go. And dude, some of the greatest stories.
Hopefully, somebody live watching has any idea what you're talking about because
I'm not giving a lot of detail to know.
No, you're not.
But let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So Aaron Rodgers, after the NFC Championship game, made a few comments. Not really sly at the Packers, in my opinion. He just says, I don't know for definite. Because he's saying, I'm going to speak for me, but I can't speak for the Packers. But he didn't say those words. Yeah, he just said there's no absolutes. He didn't really say anything to me, in my opinion. But now Russell Wilson, who I love, I'm going to say it's real clear.
He's a Badger.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's real clear to everyone because I'm going to say some stuff. But real clear, I love me some Russell Wilson. Walter Payton, Man of the Year, well-deserved. Yeah. Good dude, good person. Former Wisconsin Badger, which I love. I support all Wisconsin teams. Former Wisconsin Badger, good person. Never said anything, never did anything wrong in the world. Seems like a real stand-up dude, someone you could go and have a drink with. And, all good people. But then he made some comments today. Let me go back because I actually screenshot a few things, memes or whatever, and because I was going to do a show earlier. Let me go go back to this stuff. All right, so he said, I'm frustrated with getting hit too much. Like he's saying it, he was on a podcast. He said, I'm not sure I'm available or not. That's a Seahawks question. He was on a Dan Patrick show today. So he's making these comments. I'm not sure if I'm available or not. That's a Seahawks question. Can you imagine if Aaron Rodgers said, I'm not sure if I'm available or not? That's a Packer question? Dude.
I agree with Russell Wilson now.
Oh, yeah, I agree, too. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying, can you imagine if Aaron Rodgers said that? He would be on every show. They would cancel the Super Bowl parade. Dude, he barely said anything. And I get the week before the Super Bowl, nothing's going on. Especially this year, there's no Pro Bowl. They're playing video games. I don't know. I didn't watch it. But even if there is a Pro Bowl, nobody cares about it. But like Aaron Rodgers said, barely nothing. He had to go on the Pat McAfee show to kind of clear it up and kind of settle it down a little bit. Yeah. And even then, it wasn't settled down. He said some other stuff. And the media goes wild. I'm not hating on the media because the media has to report on what they think and they have to do the thing. Some guys get more clicks than others because they get all crazy with it. But can you imagine? And I'm not, because I think Russell Wilson, these quarterbacks are smart. Like Aaron Rodgers is very smart. When he says something, he's not like me, like right now. I'm just willy-dilly and, I have nothing planned. I got screenshots. Oh, talk about that. You know what I mean? But, like, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, like, these are smart people. When they say things, like starting quarterbacks, every starting quarterback in the league, when they say things, it's not because they're like, willy-nilly, they're all buzzed up. They mean it. They meant to say that. They're like politicians, kind of.
Okay, what a comparison. But, I mean,
I just mean that they're smart.
I don't understand the headline here. He said, okay, I don't know if I'm available, which he doesn't. It's not his decision if he gets traded. That's a Seahawks question. Go ask the Seahawks rather than asking me. I agree.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying is like, if Aaron Rodgers said that, they would be out like, Aaron Rodgers wants a trade.
You know what Aaron Rodgers did say?
What'd he say?
He said he got engaged this year.
Oh, yeah. And he slipped that bitch in.
He slipped that bitch in there. Like, it was out of nowhere.
Dude, you know what's funny? Because I'm watching this thing, and I'm watching it, and I was like, oh, Aaron Rodgers got the MVP. I knew he was going to. And then I'm watching this thing, and he's like, a lot of good things happened to me this year, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I got engaged. And I was like, wait, what?
I thought that was a reference to football, so I didn't think anything of it right away. And then I missed the fiance bit at the end.
So let me ask you this, because I posted on Facebook. I was like, I think, first of all, I'm the last person that cares about Aaron Rodgers' personal life.
Right, I don't either.
Like, I don't tweet about it. I don't talk about it on my show. I don't talk about my podcast. I don't Facebook. I don't anything, because I don't care who he's dating. I don't care, because I know that he doesn't want us. He's a private person, so that even enforces it more to me to not care. Because, like, he don't want me to care, I'm not going to care. And I wasn't going to care anyways, because I don't care. Like, I like Tom Hanks. I like Eminem. I don't care what they're doing. Like, who they're dating, what they're doing. They go out, the TMZs chase them down, take pictures. I don't care about any of that. I just don't care. So, like, with Aaron Rodgers, who he's dating, but, like, if he's going to get married, not that I care, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I've met him, so, like, why wouldn't he invite me? That's all I'm asking. No, but I thought it was interesting the way he slipped it in, because most people, when they announce it, they don't really announce it. Let's check out these comments real quick.
I got engaged, and then later he thanked a million people. He thanked Jodie Foster
he didn't, at some point. So apparently, him and Jodie Foster, that's what I was thinking. I was like, she was on Twister. That was a good movie. I was like, so, like, I was like, I didn't know he was homies with Jodie Foster. Shout out to Jodie Foster.
He also slipped a guy named Torpedo in there, which I don't know. My buddy's Scalzone Brust at ESPN Wisconsin. They were talking about this yesterday. Torpedo that can't be a real person, right? I mean,
I think that's my nickname he has for me. I think.
Okay, yeah, you can claim that. I like that. That's good.
No, I don't think no one's ever called me Torpedo except maybe my wife. But that was a good joke, Alex. I don't know why you didn't laugh, but
maybe it wasn't that funny. Matt, you ever think of that one?
I didn't. I never thought anything I didn't say was funny. No, but so what are your thoughts on this new defensive coordinator? Because a lot of people, they don't have high thoughts.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to talk about this, so I'm glad you brought it up.
I did, because here's my thing. about the new defensive coordinator, who I know very little about. I mean, I've been reading on him the last couple of days. I read a few articles. If it's 2 minutes or less, I'll read that shit. If it's over 2 minutes, probably not good. I'll watch the video.
Yeah, that's the attention span in 2021, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna read all day. I mean, I'll get a book.
Right.
But like, I'd rather watch an Andy Herman video. You know what I mean? At least he's talking. I can't read. Anyways, people are talking about like, oh, he was the defensive coordinator when the Lions went 0-16. I'm like, dude, that was 10 years ago. You know what I was doing no, it was over 10 years ago. That was 2008, I think. I don't know what year it was, but it was over 10 years ago. Dude, over 10 years ago, what I was doing, I don't want to say it. But like, dude, you can't, what was Matt LaFleur doing 12 years ago? Whatever it was.
Right.
Like, dude, you can't judge a guy. Bill Belichick did nothing before he went to coach for the Patriots. Like he like banned the Browns, like it was the Jets. He banned the Jets. He failed at the Browns. Like, dude, I don't give a shit what he was doing 12 years ago. I don't care. I care what he's doing now. I saw that someone wrote an article today. I read the headline. I didn't read the whole article. I read the headline, which is the most important part of it. And they said what he wants to do is that that one coach, you'll probably bring this up, and the scheme that he wants to run is what LaFleur likes, and I guess LaFleur wants to be in those defensive meetings during the offseason to get this going. So, I trust Matt LaFleur, and like what his vision that he has.
This is completely comparable. This is completely.
You be
comparable.
smart, Alex. Be smart now.
I'll do my best. I just think this Joe Barry hire, right? I think it's completely comparable to the Matt LaFleur hire. It was a dude who everybody overreacted and said was unproved, and his track record was not as sexy as they had hoped for. And I think that's completely comparable to this Joe Barry hire now. He's been solid. We know, I mean, we were talking, not even a month ago about how good that Rams defense was. And that's in large part to the linebackers on that group. And, he again, I think you make a good point, Matty. 12 years ago, I get he was the defensive coordinator of the Lions when they went 0-16. But when you look at what Washington did when he was there, I think they made the playoffs both years, if not just one, when he was with the football team in 15 and 16. And then he left there, went to the Rams as a linebackers coach, took a step back, and he was with Matt LaFleur in 2017, which of course was the year that the Rams, year before the Rams went to the Super Bowl. So I mean, yeah, he's have a good track record the last 4 years, and that's typically what makes a good head coach or a good coordinator. So I'm going to sit back and wait. I am one of the few, it seems, that hasn't really, made a big critique of this hire and this is exactly the same approach I took with Matt LaFleur. Everybody freaked out and was saying, his track record does not reflect the makings of a really good head coach. Well, 26-6 through the first two regular seasons. That's pretty good.
That's exactly it was with LaFleur, because when Matt LaFleur was hired, dude, Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless. Well, Skip Bayless doesn't count because he's in the trash no matter what. They could bring Lombardi back from the dead and hire him like, well, he's washed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. Well, no, do you know what he's missed? Do you know what he's missed the last 40 years?
He does not know the offenses.
The game has evolved too much for Vince Lombardi to be successful.
Yeah, so like, he doesn't matter. But like every smart person who's supposed to be smart trashed the LaFleur hire. And I didn't know it, like, at the time, because I'll be the first to know. I'll be the first to say, like, when they hire people, and people are like, because people message me, like, every day about this defensive coordinator. And I'm like, they're like, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I've actually never heard his name before.
No, and that's
like, I don't know who he, because, dude, I'm not.
I haven't either. No, I haven't either. And yeah. I didn't know who he was, and I think everybody that's such a big critic, I can guarantee you they have no idea they don't know what the Rams linebackers did this year or what he did to change that defense the last 4 years.
I'll give a quick shout to Joey the Jaguar, because I his tweets, because he argues with people, which I love. He, people who listen to my show, he's been on a few times. He's like
he's mini Matt Ramage. Yes, go on.
Yeah, and he argues with people because he says, like, dude, how do you because they're like, well, he, with the Detroit Lions when they're 0-16. He's like, do you think Matt LaFleur doesn't know that? I see him argue people on Twitter like, do you think he doesn't? He had a conversation with this guy. Like, and he said, this is the defense that I want, which I forget who reported it, but this is the defense that I want, and this is the guy who had the most information about that defense. Like, this was the guy that was like, had the most knowledge of the defense and was on the same wavelength or whatever you want to say. So like, Dude, I trust Matt LaFleur, dude. Like, I would let him babysit my kids. They're 18, so he probably doesn't need to. But I'm just saying, like, I trust Matt LaFleur with everything. Like,
and why would
I love him?
He's gained that trust the last 2 years. Yeah.
26-6 in the regular season, 2 NFC championship berths. And I get people like, oh, you shouldn't kick the field goal and all these things that you want to say, which people ask me, do you think he should have kicked the field goal? Like, dude, I don't know. Dude, I work at a cheese factory. Dude, first of all, to talk about that just for like 1 second, when people talk about, he kicked a field goal or whatever, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have. But like, dude, when you're in the game, like, can you imagine being on the sidelines?
No, right. I personally disagree with the decision, but
can you imagine like how fast it comes? Yeah. And me too. Like, because with the way Rodgers talked about, like, I think the communication was just off there a bit. But I remember when Mike McCarthy first started coaching the Packers, first 2 years, he would make mistakes, right? And they ended up winning a Super Bowl. He would make mistakes, and he'd be like, well, that's a learning situation. I remember him saying that all the time at first. People were like, I'm getting sick of this prick learning. Let's start winning. And then they ended up winning a Super Bowl. But I think a lot of it is LaFleur learning a little bit on the go. I think he's a great coach. But, like, certain decisions in certain situations and how he communicates at Rodgers, how he communicates with the coordinators.
Stop. Anybody that's complaining about Matt LaFleur's play calling can shove it. I mean, look at a guy like Anthony Lynn, who was with the Los Angeles Chargers up until this offseason. He was fired because he had horrible game management skills and his play calling was not good, time management skills, and his play calling just reflected that. And that's why and the record reflected that. The Packers didn't lose any games because of Matt LaFleur's play calling. They won a lot of them because of Matt LaFleur's play calling.
Rams game, that flip play with Devontae.
Yeah.
Dude, that was probably one of the best play calls that I've ever seen. And I'm sure I've seen some good ones that I didn't pay attention to that good. But that one, because I actually saw people break it down. And, like, during the game, I was like, well, that was really slick because they were playing a really good corner and they tricked him and all that. And I think that was one of the greatest – dude, that was so good. That made me very happy. I was like –
yeah. No, I'm with you, man.
I'm trying to keep it clean. I was going to say some dirty things, but I'm going to say that was – I think Matt LaFleur is really good. Dude, I think the Packers will be in the NFC Championship game next season. And it depends. Like this offseason is gonna be really weird.
It is. It's gonna be interesting, and that's my attention for the next month. To go back to my draft point from earlier, if you're still sticking around with us, and obviously you have been, but then again, you've been chugging Coors Lights. I don't know if you even remember a conversation from 10 minutes ago, but
I do. No, because.
My attention, I mean, it's on the running backs, and Corey Linsley, who I don't think will be back, and Kevin King, who I don't think will be back, and it's gonna get wonky.
So, do you think? Because I don't think Aaron Jones will be back. No, obviously, I think a lot of people. Yeah. So will Jamal Williams?
I don't think so.
So who do you think is gonna be the running backs tonight? Obviously AJ Dillon, but like.
This is wishful thinking.
Is it gonna be me? Is it gonna be me?
Yes, I hope it's you. I hope it's you.
I give him one. I'll give him 1 day of training camp, and I'll be out for the season.
yeah, you're gonna tear both of your quads immediately. No, I think it'll be AJ Dillon, and like I said, this might be wishful thinking, but I would love to see James White, former Badger, come back. He's a free agent this year from New England. Obviously, we know which way the New England ship is heading. I think it would be interesting if the Packers threw him a line at maybe a veteran's almost minimum. So it'll be fun to watch that play out. But that would be kind of my ideal scenario, would be White and Dillon. And I think Dillon's going to be good enough next year to carry the load. I mean, people were so negative about him, but the flashes we saw of A.J. Dillon, especially in that Tennessee game, proves that he is a number one back. Eddie Lacy was a rookie of the year and one of the best backs in the league in his rookie year. So A.J. Dillon in year 2, I think he'll have a very good chance to rival Eddie Lacy's rookie season, and I think he'll be the number one next year, and he deserves it. And that was the reasoning behind drafting a second round running back this year.
Yeah. So this person has a good question. Who do we? Will there be a franchise tag this year?
I mean, maybe, and that'd be interesting. Maybe Lindsley would probably be the only guy you'd waste it on. But I mean, that's a lot of money, and given where
that is the thing, because people ask me that all the time. Will we franchise anyone this year? I'm like,
I don't think so,
because it's a lot of money at every position.
Given the cap resources right now, it's unlikely. So I would probably say nobody would be my answer right now, but we'll see.
Yeah. So okay. Robert Tonyan, my guy. I would yell it right now, but my wife is sleeping, and I'm
happy wife, happy life. You don't want to watch.
I'm smarter than that. So, Robert Tonyan, he's a restricted free agent, meaning that I know that you know this, but anyone who might listening who probably already does know this, that someone could offer him a deal and the Packers could match it. Do you see him, because he had over 10 touchdowns? I don't know the exact number. Yeah. But do you see anyone offering him a deal that the Packers cannot match? I
wouldn't say it's impossible.
Yeah, because I think that maybe a team does.
It's likely.
Yeah, because I was saying this. I was like, because like earlier in the year, like even later in the year, people were asking me about this, and I was like, there's no way that anyone's gonna, because he had 10 touch or whatever, 10 plus. I forget the exact, at least 10 touchdowns, right? But I was like, he doesn't have a lot of receptions. He doesn't have a lot of, he wasn't crazy involved in the offense.
Bless you.
Bless you. I didn't know what's going on. You muted yourself. I don't know what's happening.
Go
Be
on.
a professional, all right? No.
Sorry about that.
No, but like, I don't know if a team would offer him much money, because even though he's proven himself, he's Aaron Rodgers, a top-notch offense guy. Adams and all these things, and I think he's a beast. But like, I don't know if coaches would be like, we're gonna throw a ton of money at him to take him away from the Packers. But now I'm like, maybe if they don't have a lot of weapons and I have full faith that Tonyan could be top tight end in the league. I have full faith. Another offseason, another year of training with Kittle. Like, dude, I think Tonyan is huge. But like, I'm not sure a team is going to offer him enough money where the Packers were like, we can't match that. Like, I think the Pack. I mean, I know there's a salary cap and all these things, but I'm not sure that a team would offer Kittle money or whatever you want to say, or whatever type of. I don't know Kittle's contract, but I assume he makes a boatload. And
yeah.
But like, I think Tonyan will be a Packer next year. I think he probably wants to be. Because why wouldn't he want to play with Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, you read the letter he did in the Players Tribune. Right?
Oh yeah. Dude, he loves it.
He's it's unlikely he'll be gone, I think, and I hope that's the case.
I just got his jersey. If he leaves, I will write him a strongly worded DM. Like, first of all, he said he's going to come on my podcast this offseason. I'm not asking any players to come on my podcast, because I see some players are doing podcasts like right now, but I'm not asking any player to come on my podcast till like next month, because I don't want to bombard them. Like, the season just ends. You come on my podcast? Like, a lot of guys are, and that's cool. Like, do your thing. But like, I wanted to like enjoy your family time. The season ended. It was a rough season, first of all, with COVID and all these things, and enjoy your family time, and then I'll come on there. You want to come on my podcast? Have you ever been on a horrible podcast? Because I got one for you.
Boy, do I have one for you.
But I think I will have Tonyan on this offseason, because, first of all, I love Robert Tonyan.
Yeah, he's the man.
Like you mentioned, like what he wrote in he took an article out just thanking his teammates and all these things. And like I was talking to Tunyon before anyone heard of him. Like he was at that softball charity game when I just sucked. And then he DM'd, or I think I DM'd him first. Probably he didn't DM me first, but he was like, we were laughing at you, and he was just really cool. And he kind of relaxed me, like kind of by telling me they made fun of me. But like that's kind of how guys are, you know what I mean? Like if you suck, people are like they tell you, you know what I mean? Like at work, they just like roast you, and he just seemed like a really like down to earth, like really cool dude. And I've been rooting for him. Like, dude, I remember him playing for the Lions when he came over. I was just always rooting for him. I didn't think he was going to get 10 plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
But like, he's one of my favorite players for the Packers, and I think he's going to be a big contributor going forward. I think he'll be a Packer next year.
I think so too, and I hope so. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what the market is for tight ends this year. So if it's slim, and there will be teams out there that need him. Was that a cough or a sneeze?
That was a cough.
I was hoping it was a sneeze so I could ignore you. But anyway.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah,
all
sure.
right? Maybe I cut you off. Maybe I didn't. I don't care.
I don't give a damn. Go on.
I will cut you off. It's my shit. No. So this whole season, Jordan Love was inactive, which I don't know if you heard of that, but no one's mentioned it all year. But
yeah, it was hush hush, wasn't it?
No one has mentioned that the Packers' first pick of the draft last year was inactive. I know.
Yeah, I haven't seen that anywhere. You're so right.
I'm probably breaking this news to you.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah. So I'll give you some time to wrap your head around this. But Tim Boyle, who's I'm a big fan of Tim Boyle. I love me some Tim Boyle. He was on my podcast this season.
Yes,
you can go back and listen to it, everyone. But no, but like, so what's the quarterback room going to look like next year? Is Tim Boyle going to be in it? No, you don't think?
If he is, he won't be there the entire season. I don't think.
Yeah,
they might try to get a 6th rounder for him before the season or something. It depends on the preseason, I think. What's his contract deal? Is he restricted? Is he still on?
Know. I'm not sure. I think I might have saw him on one of those lists. I was reading these lists today about the unrestricted. First of all, there's so many, dude. That's a long list of the Packer players who are on free agents on one way or another, unrestricted, restricted. Yeah. But I think Tim Boyle is on there somewhere. So like for me personally, like I don't think look, Tim Boyle. I think
it's an issue. It is an issue if Jordan Love isn't the 2nd string quarterback next year. That's an issue.
Oh yeah. If he's not, I get this year because the people were like stressed.
Right,
like,
I get this year too.
Yeah, because they were like, I don't think it was their plan. I think it was their plan the whole year. Yeah, like we don't have to have. We're gonna save a roster spot. We're just gonna let him sit and watch and learn the meetings and all the things, and he's just
get immersed in the offense, immerse yourself in practice, get used to it, and he'll be ready to go next year, I'm sure, as the backup. And if he's not, I think that's legitimately an issue.
That's the thing. Like next year, if he's not number 2, first of all, dude, I just want to say, everyone, I love Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle is so cool, dude. Anyone who doesn't love Tim Boyle, I don't know who you love. Like, who do you love?
Wow.
I mean, that dude, Tim Boyle is such a cool guy. He's on my podcast this year. I froze halfway through. I don't want to get into it. But he was very cool. He was like, no, that's cool. And I was like, no, I don't know the words. I have no words anymore. And he was like, and I was like, you have any words I could say? And he was like, I got nothing. No, but Tim Boyle is a very good guy. He's very cool. He's a very good quarterback. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think he's going to be a Packer through next season. Like I think he'll have a job. He's not going to be out of the league, but he'll obviously when they draft Jordan Love, things are going to happen. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers. Alex, don't give up on me. All right,
I'm not giving up to you. Aaron Rodgers, I'm listening.
All right, so Aaron Rodgers, is he gonna? First of all, he got engaged. All right, yeah. I want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about him being engaged, but a lot of people say that Aaron Rodgers doesn't play good when he's dating, right? So I saw a lot of this when I posted about him being engaged. First of all,
are we really doing this?
No, I don't want. No, just stay with me for a minute. But I want to let everyone know that he was with this girl. He didn't get engaged. He didn't go to Vegas and get engaged to some chick. He was with this girl the whole football season. So now we can squash this whole he can't play good when he's dating someone. He was dating her all year, I assume. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
but
I think he was. I heard about it in September, so I assume so.
Yeah, I don't care who he's dating, when he's dating her, how he's dating her. But so I think that. But what I want to talk about is his happiness, because he's talking about Pat McAfee all year, and he's talking about he meditates. And he had me thinking, like, I should meditate. I don't know how to meditate. I watched a YouTube video and I don't know. But will this happy, if he's as happy as he is now, because he seems very happy, and I love a good happy quarterback, will Aaron Rodgers have the same type of year? Will he have that Tom Brady effect where he just ball, even more than Tom Brady? Because I think Aaron Rodgers is playing better in his later years.
I hope so. I can't predict how. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how his offense looks next year, right? Like, who's going to be there? What's the offensive line going to look like? I mean, it's not going to be the same team, and that's what I've been saying for the last few weeks. His best shot is gone. So,
and that's what irritates. Real quick, I'll cut you off. But like, that's what irritates me about this loss this year, because Aaron Rodgers mentioned it. Is like. Dude, this was the shot. Like, this should have been, because, like, we had the running backs. We had everyone talk about the wide receivers. But, like, the defense, like, this team is going to look different next year. And, like, he talked about that. But at a personal level, like, these are my friends and this and that. These guys ain't going to be. I'm sure he wanted to get a ring for certain guys that he knows internally who won't be there. Like, he knows that Aaron Jones probably ain't going to be back. And certain guys he has on the team who are his friends in real life. But like, just as a fan, it's like, yo, like, this was a year, like, it's not going to be the same. And I think they could reestablish some things next year, but like, this year was like, there was no 49ers team. The Bucs turned into that in the Super Bowl. Their defense was, but they didn't play like that against the Packers. Mm-hmm. So everyone can talk about whatever they want, but that Packers offense played better than that Chiefs offense. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
No, you're right. I mean, you are. They were less beat up front, but they were still, Rodgers was still under pressure. I think the most he was all year. So,
Here's a 24 ounce for you.
Unbelievable.
Let's drink up there. Anyways, Alex is going to say some smart stuff right now. Alex, say some smart stuff about the Packers.
Okay. Let me think about that for a second. All right. So the Packers have this weird-looking fan. His name is Matt Ramage. He rambles and gets really drunk and says stuff that he does not remember the next day.
I don't remember games.
If it has over 12 retweets, he will not go back on his word.
I won't. No, if nobody likes or retweets a tweet, I will delete it. No, I don't delete everyone, because most of them don't get any attention. But if I say something that's stupid, and then I go back and I look, I'm like, oh, people commented on it. It's not even about retweets, but it's about comments. If someone comments on it, like, well, like, because then it's kind of like going back on a promise. You know what I mean? Like, if you say something, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially about the Super Bowl, like, and then people comment on it, and then you delete it. Now they're just talking to themselves. To me, that's rude. You're going back on. I said a lot of things during the Super Bowl. I said a lot of things.
You did.
Things I'm not proud of, Alex.
So what's one thing I am proud of? What's the one that really made you bury your head in the sand?
The stuff about the refs, because, like, actually, the one thing is, I said the NFL talks about integrity of the league. Then how do you watch this game and not find yourself? Yeah. Because they find T.O. back in the day. They find all these wide receivers, and they did all these things about integrity of the league. Like, how do you watch that game and not talk about integrity of the league? Because those refs are horrible in the first half. No, and total opposite of what they were against the Packers. I'm not going to talk about the Packers. The Packers lost. I don't blame the refs for that loss. That's not what I do. I don't blame the refs for losing games unless it's the Seahawks and that Fail Mary, because that was obviously the NFL even said it like that was bad. Let's get our refs back. Even they were like,
that was it. That was
we ended a union battle.
Have I ever told you that I am cited on the Wikipedia page for that play?
Oh no, you did not.
I've never told you this story. So at the time, so that next summer, following that year, so that was the 2012 season. So summer of 13. I was 14 years old. I was writing some fantasy football articles like twice a week for SB Nation.
I've read their stuff.
Yeah,
I tried to.
And I think I did like the best receiver from every team for fantasy article, which it's pretty lame, isn't it? But it is what it is.
It's good.
It's content, baby. But I forgot who it was. Who was on the Seahawks at that point? Well, it was Golden Tate, I think.
Yeah, Golden Tate caught that.
I referenced him. I referenced him in that play as the inner touchdownception. That's what I called it. It was right after the movie Inception came out. Yep. Thought it was funny.
It was very funny.
So if you look up Fail Mary on Wikipedia, and then you go down to like other names, it'll say inner touchdownception with a site, and if you click like the citation, it brings you to an article I wrote, which I swear I didn't do that. I found that like 4 years later. And I thought that was, I think I found it like a year ago, which I just thought was hilarious because I definitely did not make up inner touchdownception, but I'm cited with the creation of it, so I'll take it.
That's a hilarious story because I've heard that term before. I was like, did you really invent that? But I want to talk about his comment here. And sure. I want to talk about his comment with all due respect to the person who made the comment.
Oh boy. Yeah, I know which one you're pulling up.
But I'm probably going to say some stuff that this person might not like. All right, so
he or she has to be being sarcastic, correct?
This person
has to be sarcasm.
Why not trade Rodgers? All right, I say this with the utmost respect. I don't know if you're being serious or not. I assume you are because it says thoughts. So you want feedback. Because he's the MVP of the league, and because he's the best quarterback at NFL, what would the Packers be without him?
Hey,
what are you trying? No,
Matty, you don't even need to ramble. Let me answer the question the way it was phrased. Right. Pull it back up. All right. All right. Why not trade Rodgers? Thoughts? I'll tell you why not trade Rodgers. Because our general manager has an IQ of over 6. That's why. That's it. That's the answer.
Dude, you don't trade Aaron Rodgers because there's so many reasons we could give you, but what would you get for him? I get that people are giving a lot of stuff up.
Look what Stafford got: a quarterback swap, 2 first-round picks, and a third-rounder. What do you think you get for Rodgers? Literally,
first of all, because Rodgers has
every player on the roster. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to get into it because it's just not going to happen. So, and I don't want it to happen. There's no good reason for it to happen, and it's not going to happen. Jordan Love, when he's ready. If he's ready. I don't even know if Jordan Love will ever play a snap for the Packers because Aaron Rodgers keeps playing like he is. They're going to trade him. And, or whatever. Something's going to happen. They're either going to start Jordan at some point or they're going to stick with Rodgers. I don't even care. I mean, I do care. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Dude, I get he might play a snap at some point for another team, but it's not going to be soon. It's definitely not going to be that
I think season. He probably has at least, I would say he probably has 2 years left in Green Bay.
Yeah, at minimum 2 years. But if he plays lights out next year and the year after he's still...
Well, if he plays lights out next year, that extends it another year, I think.
Yeah, because they're not going to have him playing a season... And they're going to move money around the whole thing anyways.
And maybe they'll trade Love and get a first-round pick back, and it was just you didn't have a first-round pick that year. Okay.
Yeah. Because I can actually see it. Let me give you this scenario. I think the Rodgers drama is over for now. You know how Yeah.
He got engaged. Everybody's happy. We
yeah. But like you know how that drama was going the week between NFC Championship game and the week of the Super Bowl, or like the week, whatever that week and a half before the Super Bowl. It was all the drama. I think it's over. But like if it's not if it's not internally, right? So like maybe Rodgers, which I don't believe, but like maybe Rodgers and a team, like they want to show him a little bit of love. They want to show Rodgers, we're invested in you. This is your team. We're all in on Aaron. Do you see a situation this offseason where Jordan Love possibly gets traded?
Not yet. No.
No?
No, not yet.
And this is just like a wild question. This is just I don't necessarily believe that either. But like only way I see that happening is if Rodgers does have questions, which he wouldn't raise publicly. But if he has questions like in house, we're like what are we doing here? Like blah, blah, whatever. I don't think he would.
Love and Rodgers will be the Packers quarterbacks this year. That's just done, kaput, finito. That's it. That's the art. Unless one of them gets hurt in preseason, which I hope, as Bob in the YouTube chat points out, I hope we do get a preseason this year. I'm not a big preseason guy. I don't believe we should have 4 preseason games. I think we should have maybe 2 maximum.
3.
I think that's too much.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me ask you this question.
No.
See, because here's a good question for people who I'm going to put this on my podcast because people need to hear this in audio. Will the Packers make a trade for J.J. Watt for draft picks this year? Which Alex already answered no. And I also believe no. But I do love me some J.J. Watt.
Me too.
But I'm not even sure. So let me ask you this. Away from the draft, away from the possible trade scenario, would J.J. Watt even fit the Packers defense?
Yes.
Because he's a 4-3 type of guy, right?
Yeah.
But like what
I mean, he's one of the best defensive players of the last 2 decades. He'd fit pretty much any defense because the defense revolves around him just about. I don't know that it would anymore because he's obviously on the decline, but he would certainly be a good fit.
So if they could, let's just take away the whole draft part. Let's take away the whole trade part, all that part. Where would J.J. Watt fit into the Packers defense then? Oh shit!
What's the question?
Oh, my apologies. We're having a clean podcast here. I almost fell, but
are you standing on something?
No, I'm not. But the cord tripped me. I got a lot of cords going on here. All right, but
okay. What's the question?
Where would JJ go, and like whose spot would he take? Like where would he play? Because like
Tyler Lancaster, Kingsley Keke. The only answer that's not acceptable is Kenny Clark.
Yeah, and Kingsley Keke. I like Kingsley Keke.
I do too.
I think he's played really good this year. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. But it's fun to talk about because I love JJ Watt.
I do too. But he's not gonna be a Packer, Matt. Just accept it now.
Oh yeah, I don't think so either. When people say it to me, I'm like, it's a good thought. It's like, your favorite cousin. They got nowhere to stay. Like, hey, come stay at my house. And your wife's like, no. I'm like, oh, that'd have been fun though, right? He'd be like, dude, we would have got drunk every night. And then they're like, yeah, let me ask her again. And you're like, hey, maybe he just stays in the basement. It's like, no. That's kind of what
you're really making your wife out to be awful, aren't you?
No, my wife's very nice. She's a very good person. But she doesn't want my cousins staying with us. Because she knows what's going to happen. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to make a podcast. Now, he's part of the podcast, but he's not a good person. No, he is a good person. He just has...
I hope your cousin isn't watching.
And this situation is J.J. Watt, and J.J. Watt's a very good person. He's fun, but maybe my cousin makes a mess. He costs a lot of money. That's the part with J.J. Watt where it comes into this. J.J. Watt costs a lot of money. Yeah, he'd be fun. He'd be good to have on the team, awesome. But he's going to cost a lot of money. My cousin comes over. Now he's breaking stuff, He's like, let's go to Quick Trip. Buy me a bunch of donuts. Like, yeah, I love Quick Trip too. It's a good place to go. But I don't have that type of money to spend on it all the time. Anyways, go to Quick Trip, people. Get yourself a French vanilla cappuccino. Those are good, bro. Those are good.
Those are good. I agree.
My kids tell me, like, I go to, why don't you just get a coffee like a man? French vanilla cappuccinos are good.
They are good. And I'm a black. I drink my coffee black, and I'm a big French vanilla cappuccino guy.
I don't really drink coffee. It doesn't taste good to me. I go to, you know what's funny? If you go to Quick Trip, you get a French vanilla cappuccino, they don't know what's in it. It's just the same price for coffee, whatever type of coffee you get. So I tell them, like, yeah, I like my coffee black. That's a big black coffee. That's what it is. I like it. Like, dude, I saw you pour it, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely not a coffee.
They're like, don't judge me, bro. They're like, I can smell the French vanilla coming out of the cup. I'm like, that cap's not on right. I better fix that. No, but anyway, shout out to Quick Trip, sponsoring the show. And they're probably regretting it at this point. They're like, we listened to it. We're not feeling it. It's not good.
Yeah, it's over.
It's not a good product. It's not a good product. No, but usually my shows are good.
Well, that's your opinion. Yeah.
Outside of this one. You know what's funny? Let's talk about this for a second. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this. But Peter Bukowski.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say his name right?
Yeah, you got it.
All right. He's good people. All right. But I noticed this yesterday, which I shouldn't say on the air, but nobody's listening anymore, so it's fine. He's who does he work for? Because you know.
He's with Locked On Packers. And then I think he might be with SB Nation as well.
But he's a Packers beat writer, right?
Yeah. Well, he does a lot. I don't know that he's credentialed, but he covers the Packers. Yes.
Yeah, but he covers the Packers.
I think he covers the NFL at large as well. He has a new podcast that I've been listening to more than Locked On Packers called Locked On Today, and it's essentially just like the biggest sports headlines in 25 minutes. It's really well produced.
Yeah, and he's very good at what he does.
Yeah, he's good.
That's the point I was trying to make. Is like he's very good.
Are you about to bury him? Are you
I'm not at all. I'm not. No, I'm about to say good things about him. But it's funny because I tweet sometimes. Like I tweeted last night. I want to be on Drunk History.
Me too, though. Me too. Yeah.
So I tweeted this because I've been watching Drunk History lately, and I was
Great show.
And I was like, I could do this. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about this after. But he responded to me, and he was like, every podcast you do is drunk. Yeah. Is that episode? And I was like, he doesn't follow me, but he sees my tweets.
Yeah, he doesn't follow me either, and he sees mine as well.
Like, what does he do? And I'm not mad that he doesn't follow me because I don't care about that. But it's like, I think it's cool that he responds because I think he's very good at what he does. And so I actually asked him, like, hey, want to come on my show? Let's do some drunken shit. And then one night, because I was drinking, and then he was like, yeah, maybe someday I will. And then I probably won't be on your level, but I'll have a couple of, whatever drinks he does. But it had me thinking. All right, Alex, are you with me?
I'm with you. Let's go.
All right. So I have an idea for a show. A show I can do.
I'm already in.
All right. So I have an idea for a show called Drunk Packers History. All right, and I have a few different versions of how I want to do it. The first version is like you've been to Packer games, right? And you have stories, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like you were drunk, and not even the drunk ones, but like everyone has like where were you when Dez dropped it?
Sure.
And like I have a great story for that. I'm not gonna tell it. I probably told it a few times in the show already, but I was at my kid's basketball game, and it was a funny story to go with that. And like you have your own. Everyone has a story, where they were at whatever game. Some people were at Lambeau Field. I was at Lambeau Field in 2007. Well, not that year. That was a bad year. But I don't want to hear that story. No, but like everyone has that crazy story. But not even that. Is get someone who actually knows the history of the game, like PackersHistory.com. I don't know if you follow them.
Get them blitzed out.
They're a very good follow, first of all. Twitter, Facebook, everywhere they are. Well. They have great knowledge on the Packers history. And get them on there, because I actually talked to them, and I was like, hey, you guys should come on my podcast in the offseason. Let's talk about some history of the Packers, because you guys know your stuff. I don't know if they drink or not, but get them buzzed up. And have them buzzed up tell the story of the Ice Bowl, or because they know everything. And then at the same time, I'll learn some. Look at this guy. He's got an Ice Bowl sweater on right here. But like, I think it'd be cool to have a Packers drunk history where we just talk about the stories of people who lived through the Packers stuff, like whatever game you were at, tell the story, sure. And then and also talk about real Packers history, like the Ice Bowl and Brett Favre's first game and Brett Favre when his dad passed in that Raiders game, or like just some of the games. Don Majkowski, tell the Don Majkowski story, dude. I think I'm onto something here. And anyone who is listening to this and you steal this for your podcast, I'll kill you.
Whoa! I thought you were just gonna say I'm coming for you.
I'm not killing nobody, bro. I won't say that because people will come rob me if I say that.
This is a good time to end it.
I think it is a good time. No, but dude, this off season we're gonna do some fun stuff, different types of stuff. Alex is gonna join me a few times. Alex is doing some stuff. Let's give a shout to Alex real quick since he's joined me all year. We did the off season or during the season. He was on. We did post game stuff with Game on Wisconsin, but Alex is working with ESPN Madison now. Soon he won't want to talk to me no more because he'll be a professional. Probably on.
You've been saying that for 4 months, but here I am.
I know, but 2 years from now you'll be working for NFL Network, and I'll text you like, who this? Or no, maybe I shouldn't say NFL Network because you work for ESPN. You'll be working for ESPN. Their little morning show. What do they got? Get up.
Come on, get up.
Yeah, they got that. It's actually a pretty good show. Aaron Rodgers referenced it. He likes it. I'm not up that early unless I have to go to work, so I don't ever see it. I see clips though on Twitter. Usually I'm at work already. I go to work early, and I just hate life. But who's that guy on Get Up? He's so energetic. He must get up at like. I don't think he's
Mike Greenberg?
No, I love me some Mike Greenberg. Let me ask you this real quick, since no one's watching anymore, but they'll listen. Who's your favorite ESPN person?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? I'm over here asking good questions like I'm a real good host. That's a good question.
So are we talking TV and radio?
Yeah.
So
I don't know radio people, but
of all time, it's a no-brainer for me. It's Stuart Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like he was like my idol growing up. But right now, probably SVP, probably Scott Van Pelt. I think he's brilliant.
Oh, I think so too. Because I remember listening to him. I used to take long drives. I used to drive long to go to work, and he was a good one. Like dude, some guys are just so good.
It's unfair.
You know who I think is really good?
Who's that?
Who's not? I don't think he's not ESPN anymore. Which I love ESPN. I like Greenberg. If I had to pick someone from ESPN, Greeny.
Greeny's still ESPN.
Yeah. Greeny is the number one ESPN guy. But I'm gonna move on from Greeny.
Oh sure. I go outside ESPN. I love talking sports media. I could do this all night. Yeah.
Yeah. Greeny is someone who I think is just when he was with what's his Golick.
Golick, yeah.
Back in the day, I used to listen to those guys. I used to have a paper route for extra
huge,
money.
They were huge.
I used to listen to these guys, and obviously that it ended, and they weren't real pleased with each other for whatever reason.
Not at the end, no.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into whatever happened there, but I always and because people picked those. When you watched that back in the day, Mike and Mike, people were like either Greeny or Golick, and I was always Greeny.
Were you?
And then, not that I'm against Golick, because a little bit I am. But I always liked Greeny, because he's more like me. Because Golick, it was always like Greeny was talking like, I'm not the athlete. And Golick was always like the athlete, which I'm not against, being the athlete. But I always, like, Greeny, like, that's me. I'm a weakling. I'm a little more overweight than he is, because he's a skinny guy. But I was like, I like Greeny. He knows his stuff. I think he has. Yeah. He's entertaining. Anyways.
Yeah, I like Greeny too.
Away from ESPN, Jim Rome.
Oh yeah, he's the man.
I haven't listened to him lately, but because I just don't listen to radio like that anymore. But like Jim Rome, I do like impersonations of him. You want to hear my impersonations?
Yes, please.
All right. Like
this is gonna be awful.
It probably is because I'm a buzz up, but I do impersonate. I used to do impersonation of Jim Rome, like. All right, let me get ready. All right. That might be the worst call I've ever had in my life. And I've had some worse ones, people. But that call that just happened, that was the worst call ever.
That wasn't good. That wasn't good.
No, but you know what I like about him, though? Because people would say, like, why do you take so much vacation? Like, you know why I take so much vacation? Because I get so much vacation. He would always just call it, because that's what everyone would do. Like, if you have a successful show and you have a lot of vacation, and people get mad because you're not there, he's like, yeah, I take a lot of vacation.
I take a lot of vacation because I get a lot of vacation. Yeah. That's how Romy does it, baby.
Dude, because Rome would just go off on some. I remember there was a basketball player. I think it was a basketball player who was drunk or tired or whatever it was, went into a mattress store and took a nap on a and just went inside the mattress store and slept. And he goes on these tirades when stuff like that happens, like there's a big story in the news, and he'll just talk about it the whole day. And he's got what does he call his people? The cronies? The clones. Yeah. That's what I got to do with my people. I got to call them something. The Rammies.
No, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. That's not a good one. I'm going off the top of my head, people. We got to think of something better. But anyways, so yeah, we got and Stephen A. Smith. I actually like him.
Oh,
and not just because he says, not just because he likes Aaron Rodgers. Pat McAfee.
Yo, did you see that video that Stephen A. and Pat McAfee were on?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh my goodness, Matt! It was the greatest. It was the MVP thing for Rodgers, and McAfee did the voiceover. I'm gonna play it for you. Is what we're gonna do here.
You got it? No.
I only have the audio, but
all right, there we go. We're gonna play the audio. That's good because I'm putting this on the podcast.
People talk about down years for me because a lot of times down years for me are career years for most quarterbacks.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad. You got that right, Stephen A. To be more exact, he's the baddest of bad men. Watching Aaron Rodgers play football this year was like watching Bob Ross paint. It was mythical. It was magical. You got entranced by the talents and abilities, thinking, how did that man do that? Throwing for 4,299 yards, 48 tuds, surpassing 50,000 career passing yards and 400 passing touchdowns. He's now the owner of the top 2 passer ratings in the history of the NFL. None of us know what that means, but what we do know is that when Aaron Rodgers plays football, it is impossible to think that what he's doing is possible. For the 3rd time out of Butte County, your MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
That's art.
Years outside of the 2 that I've won. There's not many guys that have won 3, so that would definitely mean a lot.
Aaron Rodgers, your 2020 NFL MVP, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, that is art. Can I just take a second, real quick, and then we'll end this damn thing?
Yeah.
Like the reason that one of the reasons, there's a few different people, but one of the reasons I started making podcasts and doing this thing is because of Pat McAfee.
He's the man. He's changed the biz. He has completely changed the landscape of sports radio, and we owe him a lot for it because he's revitalized this thing, man. Yeah, sports radio is cool again because of Pat McAfee.
Dude, I remember watching Pat McAfee. I think he was on Barstool back then, and he was just shotgunning beers in this little room. Like he was in a better room than what I'm in right now. But he was in like a little room, and they were shotgunning. I used to listen to Pat McAfee, and they were just like off the wall. They were just having fun, and then they still are having fun. They're just in a better room now. And like, dude, Pat McAfee is the GOAT of anyone on the mic. And like everyone who is on a microphone doing a podcast, some people are professional. They're doing good things too.
The thing is, Pat's going to do this. Pat's going to do this for the next 10 years at least.
Yeah,
and he's going to be number one. He's going to be the number one sport now.
Pat McAfee will be the number one sports show until he decides that he doesn't want to do a sports show anymore. Like Ty Schmidt, like his whole group, like Boston Con. Like I know all these guys. I follow all of them. A lot of them follow me too. Pat McAfee follows me on Twitter, and when he did, I told my wife, Pat McAfee follows me. She's like, I don't care. I was like, all right, but I do a lot. Dude, Pat McAfee and his whole group, everyone, like when he put my video on his show, like he probably didn't know what happened. No one told him.
Right.
It was just me ranting about Aaron Rodgers, and they're like, hey, we could use it on the show. So I think Boston Connor DM me like, hey, can we use this? Like, yeah, you can use anything of mine that you want.
Right.
Dude, that Pat McAfee show, the whole crew, I love them so much. I think they're the best thing that's ever happened to sports, like sports talk. They're just so ridiculously good. They're almost as good as you, Alex.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna let you give me that one.
All right, I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna put that on my Instagram, but I'm gonna cut that. No, but I absolutely love the Pat McAfee show. The only show that I don't listen to a lot of podcasts anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like on my way to work, sometimes I'll throw one on. But Pat McAfee show, like when I listen to one, dude, they're just so good. Like I listen to them to try to get better at what I do, and so far it hasn't worked. But I still listen. All right, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. This is Alex Strouf from Game on Wisconsin. Always fun talking to Alex. He does a lot of student. He's the hardest working guy in the biz. East Madison, Game on Wisconsin. He does stuff with Pack a Day Podcast, and he even ventures out of my way once in a while when he's bored.
That's very true.
This is the Pat McAfee show. They always clap for people.
I love that.
I would clap louder, but my wife is sleeping, and I want to live.
Well.
I want to live. No, but shout out to everyone who tuned in. And people who are watching on YouTube, subscribe, even though you're probably not watching anymore anyways. I should have mentioned that earlier. But anyway, shout out to everyone who's watching, anyone who's listening. Go Pack, go. We're going to be here all off season, baby. Alex will come back and join me. I'll have even some better people when I...
Oh, wow. Okay. Now I won't be back then.
Hey, if you're going to mess with me, Alex, I'm going to talk shit about you once in a while.
That's fair.
All right. Shout out to Quick Trip.